apparently the first local Christmas market is scheduled for I believe it's November 2nd. So I have 6 weeks. Oh, now YouTube decides to work. Hello. So we're starting Christmas stuff because the first Christmas market and the one that I'm most likely to vend at, because their table fee is incredibly low. Their table fee, I'd only need to sell 3 cards to cover my table cost. So I would probably vend there. Is November 2nd, which is only 6 weeks away. So, I've made, sort of as a warm-up, these were my most popular card last year. They were the trees, but done in granulating colors. The most popular one actually then had flecks of shimmer and hollow watercolor flicked over top, like snow. I just needed a warm-up, and so I've done that. The most popular gift tag from last year, I thought I kept an example of in my reference book. This is a handy dandy book I keep, which has examples of all my projects that I've done as like commission projects. So for this gift tag last year, this was the color and this was the order that I put them down in, which is really important because I really liked this sort of technique. I just liked how it worked. And I kept examples of a bunch of the gift tags. I kept, you know, the houses that I did. I kept examples of those. I tend to keep the worst one, so one that I've like smudged or something. The one that I didn't keep an example of was the most popular gift tag from last year, which was also the easiest to do. It also appears that I do not have a video of how I did it. And so I've picked what I think the colors were. I've also thrown in some new Cosmic Shimmers that have come out in the past year. We're gonna wet all these. I don't know what we're gonna start with. I thought we might start with the reindeer ones, honestly, but they're also sort of hard because you have to do them cut out, you have to mask off the back. I don't know that I've got a roll of tape, so we might start with the one that I'm really not sure how it's gonna go, because I also can't figure out if my page was wet for it or not. And you might think that should be something really silly that you should know. And it should be something I know, but I don't, honestly. And I feel like I also need a darker green. I feel like my greens aren't dark enough. So let's raid the studio palette. Oh, I think that was part of it last year. I know I had a pale green, which I haven't pulled, but I also think I had Quixote, which is, I saw it earlier. Is this it? No, it's Barati. Maybe I do have it pulled. Do I have you pulled? It would be a very me thing to do, is to have it pulled and then not realize that I've got it pulled. Oh, maybe I do have it pulled. You were part of it last year because you stain. That was part of it. Maybe we'll just keep the greens. So I'm sure I'm sure I'm missing greens from this adventure. But it's weird because I always keep a reference and there just isn't a reference for this. So we're sort of going into this blind. All right, let's grab a piece of paper. This is the paper I use for gift tags. It's also what I use when I teach ink classes because it works really well for ink, but I don't know what I'm doing, and that frustrates me because I don't have a reference for this from last year. Do I care about protecting my desk? I probably should. Okay. Clearly, we're super prepared today. There we go. All right. Let's wet down this entire page. So, 6 weeks until the 2nd. So really, I've got until like, I think by like the sort of 20th of October. By the 20th, I don't feel prepared. I'm probably not prepared. I remember this. So I wet the entire page, I flick stuff on, and then I use the heat gun. I remembered how I did this, which is always impressive with a brain injury. It's why I film everything. Honestly, there are so many videos that you guys don't see because I film everything I do in this studio. Because of course, the one time I don't is the one time that I really like a project and I have no reference for it. So, grab this. This feels like a good flicking brush. I love this green. It just flows well. And because these are a commission, or not a commission, these are something I'm going to sell. I'm being very careful and making sure that I don't pick up any cadmiums or cobalts from my palette. That's just something that I normally don't care about. And I've just contaminated that clean water. But with commission stuff, I'm a bit more picky. And so I do make sure that anything I'm using is not a cadmium or a cobalt. And the goal is that you sort of just like get this really fun speckly texture. Do we want to throw a darker green in there? Sure, let's throw that in. Now we just let it move. Let it move, we let it move, we let it move. And I'm gonna grab a shimmer brush. What shimmer do I want? Honestly, I'm sort of feeling this green shimmer. It's the Cosmic Creation one that's a couple months old, actually. I'm trying to guard the rest of the palette. I do keep separate cups for shimmers. And then let's finish it off. Let's add a hint of gold. All right. So now I get to turn this and see what the other side looks like. Oh, I actually like that. All right. Let's plug this in so we can dry it. Let's plug this in. All right, now that that's dry, we're gonna go in and flick some more sparkle on it, because honestly, it's not sparkly enough. And really, this first one, probably just gonna get cut up for labels to be a test. Sort of a warm-up. But I think it's always good to have a warm-up, like getting yourself back into it sheet. And honestly, I do love that gold. So let's try this for a second time. Well, that is nicely sparkly. I wonder, the one color of sparkle I haven't pulled is a red. So I wonder if I should go, like, look how sparkly that is. I wonder if I should go and pull something like Hot Rod from Sparrow, which is very sparkly and very red. So I'm looking at the shimmers that I've got. I've got green, I've got gold, I've got two different golds, I've got a silver, I've got a hollow silver, but I don't have a red. So actually, let's go grab a red. Do I want Hot Rod or do I want something like that from Laura? Do I want True Blood? Do I have a sparkly red? No. I don't have a red. Oh, I've got that. Who made that? Okay, I'm gonna grab those two. So we've got two reds. We have Central from Renaissance Colors, and then we've got True Blood by Cosmic, which one is a red with hollow and one's just a super sparkly red. Part of me wants to do one of these pages just in sparkle. And so it's mine. And so we're gonna do that. I don't know that I want to wet this page. My instinct is telling me not to wet this page and to just flick them. We're gonna move this palette of colors because that would make a mess. And I don't want to clean up all of those. Let's grab our shimmer cup. Let's start here. That needs a little more time. Honestly, I really like this. And I'll seal it with Krylon. Probably today because it's still hot. But there is something fun just about the sparkle. Sort of like being punched in the face by glitter. So there will be an actual Christmas card live, but today we're doing gift tags. Actually, there will probably be more than one Christmas card live. Today though, I felt like gift tags. Because honestly, there's something fun about them. They're just, you know, they're little, they're cute. Everybody uses them. They tend to sell pretty well for me. I think I did close to 100 last year. And I'll probably do more this year. I quite like that. And then it'll get cut into, I use, this punch has 3 sizes, which is really nice. I use the 2-inch, because I find that, I think it's a 2-inch. I think it's the 2.5 is a little bit too big. So, yeah, I use the 2. And so that's the final size they end up being. They're quite cute. These ones are really fun. They just take a lot of time. And so a set of them is quite expensive. I think last year I only sold them as pairs. Hello. We have started Christmas stuff here. Because of the fact that my first Christmas market is going to be November 2nd. So Christmas stuff is now in full swing. But I like this just shimmer, especially because it's gonna get cut into strips. It feels so early to be doing them. It is like 30 degrees outside today. But unfortunately, to do cards and gift tags and whatever else I end up doing with the schedule of having like 6 weeks, I'm gonna need that amount of time. I do hand lettering. I don't know that I'm going to do anything for this event. I might, big might here, I might offer customization on cards. That is a huge, gigantic might. It's the first year of this event being back after one of the organizers died, and she was in her late 90s, and so I don't know that I've got any around my desk right now, because I've moved everything aside so that I didn't get any paint splatters on it. But I've done a few projects lately that I've really liked, including one that's sort of ongoing that I'm really enjoying. And I did, it was last year, but I did a nursery sign for somebody's nursery that I also really enjoyed. Mostly because I got to be themed. Doing a piece and then figuring out how to do it so that the name looked like cow print was really fun. So we're gonna dry this page so that I can move on to another one. But I do really like the straight shimmer. There is something fun about it, though I am gonna have to coat this in Krylon so that it doesn't shed everywhere. So I'm probably gonna do that. I think you have to use Krylon when it's, I wanna say when it's above 15 but below 35. So we're in the right temperature range for me to be to be treating things. So is there anywhere that I want to add more? I don't think so. I sort of like this like minimalistic look. Maybe that section right there. Needs just a hint of something. We're gonna go with hollow. Really, hollow solves all the problems. All right, well, let's dry this page. So there we go. Don't know how well the camera will pick up the shimmer, but it is very sparkly. I used this technique on, I want to say I used it on wrapping paper last year. And it is a lot of fun because it just like bamfs up anything. But I think I really like this for like the more basic gift tag option, but I also might use it for the background of some cards. Honestly, not too bad on the back. There are only a couple spots that I'm gonna have to like scrape off. The red is very vibrant. It's Cosmic Creations True Blood, and it is very, very pretty. I think she sells it individually. Mine came as part of her Oceanside Sunset set, I believe is what it's called. She sent it in the spring. And there's a video up on my channel all about it. It's a very pretty red. So we now have 2 pages of tags done and ready to seal before I cut them. And what do I want to do next is the question. I sort of want to dry off my table so that I don't accidentally smudge the back of anything. All right, so which I really want to do that design. I wonder if there's a way. So I have a love-hate relationship with this design. I adore it. It's super fun. It is the most fun I have with a design. It looks super fun. They're super cute on presents. Like, it's got hollow. There are some stars in there. The issue is you have to cut them out, and then you have to tape the entire background, and it's just so much work. I wonder if I can measure out exactly how big it is, and then grid my page very carefully with tape. I think it should work. Okay. Do you know any to buy pre-owned fountain pens? Penrealm. Kirk Spear of Penrealm does sell pre-owned pens. I have never bought any pre-owned pens from Kirk, but I have bought pens from Kirk, and he's lovely and incredibly knowledgeable and does fantastic nib work. And they do buy pens that are pre-owned and sell pre-owned pens. Can I think of anyone else that sells pre-owned pens? I don't think so. I think Kirk is the only person I can think of that sells pre-owned pens. All right, let's use the handy dandy Galen ruler and figure out the dimensions of this, because it should be, ooh, it's slightly bigger than 2. By what? By 3.5. So 2 by 3.5. And what's this block? It is 9 by 12. So either way, I'm ending up with a little bit of extra. But let's do it this way, because that seems like the smarter way to do it. Okay. Oh. Or do I paint the entire, no. Where's a pencil? Skinnier than 2. Nope, that's 2. I do quite like this ruler from Galen. It is a lovely, lovely product, and the numbers don't rub off because it's brass. And even if they do, they're engraved into it. And so you're sort of set. So 3.5. 3.5 takes me to there. 3.5 takes me to there. 3.5 takes me to there. Because what I'm gonna do is just grid out this line. And hopefully that's on the same line. Three and a half. 3.5. All right. Maybe we don't need that tape. Do we just go for it? I like how I'm just like, and we're gonna go for it. As I grid out this entire page. 3.5. Oh, it's 2. There's 2. Please all line up. All right. Let's continue to grid out this. 2, 3, 1. 2. 3. Watch this not work. Watch this be too hard to do this way. Probably will be, now that I think about it. Oh, I have an eraser. I do. That doesn't look straight. Oh. I've measured wrong somewhere. All right, that's 2. That's not 2. It's not 2. It's 1/8 of an inch off. Oh, that doesn't look straight either. Three and a half. Three and a half. Three and a half. Right. Three and a half. Three and a half. Three and a half. All right. Matte. That's a shimmer brush. Step 1 is sapphire. Let's hope these notes are accurate. Ew, that's what I want tape for. Too late now. For the next row though, I know. This might not work. I might have to go back to making these all individually, which is fine. It just takes a very long time. So I was hoping I could speed up this process by making a sheet of them at the time, but I don't think they look as good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go back to making each one of these individually. They just don't look quite as good. And the colors aren't nearly as dark this year. Yeah, I don't think they look good done like this. So, back to creating them individually I go, which is fine. It just takes longer. And so it means making them at a loss, because they probably take $10 to make individually, and I'm not selling these for what they cost to make. So let's see if I can paint them individually. I got the wrong brush for this. But honestly, I don't feel like changing my brush. And just like that, we've changed what the top and what the bottom is. None of these look right this year. I'm almost wondering if this wasn't sapphire last year and my notes are wrong. that seems like maybe closer. I tried desperately to get the color from last year. Because again, I didn't film this, which is so stupid because it was such, like at the end of the day, it was such an easy project. And yet here I am, it's November. I'm trying to recreate something that I created over 8 months ago. And I can't figure it out. But honestly, I think that's the closest I've gotten. So I'm gonna see if I can add more depth by adding some more blue to these. Without like disturbing the purple too much. Because I don't really want to go in with more granulating purple. It's very dark in that middle already. But I do want to see if I can redeem these just a little bit. Honestly, not awful. All right. Once we've fixed all of these, I think that's where we're gonna leave it for today because I've got that other I've got those other 2 sheets to Krylon still. And I want to do that before it gets less sunny because I do want them to dry. Right. I don't know that these will be savable. I think this might just be a lesson in patience today. But if they aren't, I've got a better idea of how to do them when I come back to them later this week. these aren't really working out the way I hoped they would. I wish I'd taken better notes last year. This is just a lesson in patience. And that's all right. Oh, today's painting is a lesson in things really not working. Honestly, these were so easy to do last year. They were time consuming, but they weren't difficult. Whereas this year, I just can't seem to make them work. And so maybe that's a sign to just come back to them a different day as I get Prussian blue all over my knee. This one. Honestly, they're not... There's just something that isn't working. And so I think we're gonna leave it. I think we're gonna dry them and I'm just gonna end it here. So. All right, there we go. They're not great. There's just something that isn't working. And I'm gonna have to play around with that. And also it didn't work to keep the backs clean. So it doesn't work anyways. So I'm gonna go back to punching them out and painting each one individually because honestly, that seems to work better. And yeah. And I'm going to see if maybe I've messed up my color notes. Maybe there's a color that's not the actual color. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know when you guys start your Christmas prep, if you vend Christmas markets. It feels early, but honestly, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just like feeling weird about it, but it's not actually that early. I'm gonna go spray these other ones with Krylon before I cut them apart. And then I will actually be able to say that I've gotten my first products done for Christmas markets, which is a crazy sentence to be saying in the middle of September, but here we are. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah.